Hello and welcome back to Explain the Charts, your go-to channel for detailed technical analysis. Today is October 2nd, 2025, and we are looking at Intel, symbol Intel, which is making major headlines. Before we dive into the charts, let's cover the news because it is the primary driver of this massive move. The biggest story, which broke just yesterday, is that Intel is reportedly in early talks to add its chief competitor, AMD, as a customer for its manufacturing business. This is a potential landmark shift in the semiconductor industry and would be a massive validation of Intel's foundry strategy. Investors reacted with extreme bullishness, sending the stock soaring over 7% yesterday. This news builds on other recent positive developments for Intel. In mid-September, the stock surged after the company lowered its expense forecast following the sale of a majority stake in its Altera business. This move was seen as a sign of increasing financial discipline and a focus on core profitability. Furthermore, reports from late September suggested Intel was seeking investment from Apple, adding another potential high-profile partner to the mix. So the fundamental backdrop has shifted dramatically in a bullish direction over the past month. Now, let's see how this news has translated into the price action on the charts. Here we have the daily chart for Intel going back to May of 2024. As you can see, the stock has been on a wild ride. After a steep decline, it found a bottom around the $17.66 level in early April 2025. Since that low, the stock has been in a clear, albeit volatile, uptrend, more than doubling in value. The price action has been characterized by sharp rallies followed by periods of consolidation or pullbacks. Let's zoom in on the action from the last few weeks to see the impact of this recent news flow. Focusing on September, we can see a strong uptrend beginning. On September 15th and 16th, you can see a noticeable price jump with strong volume, which corresponds directly with the Altera stake sale and cost-cutting news. The stock moved from the low $24s to over $25 on that news. Then on September 24th and 25th, we see another powerful surge, taking the price from the $29 level to nearly $34. This coincides with the reports of Intel seeking an investment from Apple. But the most significant move happened yesterday, October 1st. Look at this massive green candle on enormous volume. The price gapped up at the open and ran over 7% on the AMD foundry news, closing at $35.94, right near the 52-week high of $36.30. This is a classic breakout pattern driven by a powerful fundamental catalyst. This now establishes some very clear technical levels for us to watch. The immediate resistance is that 52-week high at $36.30. A close above this level on strong volume would be extremely bullish and signal a continuation of the trend. On the downside, we now have a major price gap that should act as support. The high from September 30th was $34.235, and yesterday's low was $33.50. This price zone between roughly $33.50 and $34.25 is now a key support area. For the stock to remain bullish in the short term, we want to see it hold above this level. To get a better look at yesterday's explosive move, let's switch to a smaller time frame. Looking at the 15-minute chart for yesterday, October 1st, we can see the story of the day. The stock opened around $33.44 and chopped around for the first few hours of the session. Then, at 17:50 Universal Time Coordinated, look at this massive volume spike and price surge. The stock exploded from $34.40 to over $35.50 in just 15 minutes. This was the market's primary, powerful reaction as the AMD news became widely disseminated. What's particularly bullish is that after this initial spike, the stock did not sell off. Instead, it consolidated at a higher level and then ground its way higher into the close, finishing the day at its peak. This shows that buyers were in control throughout the session and were willing to buy at these elevated prices, absorbing any profit-taking. This sustained buying pressure is a very strong sign for the bulls. So, let's go back to the daily chart and recap what we're looking at going forward. The narrative for Intel has clearly shifted, backed by significant positive news. The chart reflects this with a powerful breakout on incredible volume. Key resistance is the 52-week high at $36.30. Primary support is the gap from $33.50 to $34.25. A secondary support level sits around the $31 area, which was a consolidation point before the most recent rally. Now for some potential scenarios. The bullish scenario, which I believe has a high probability of around 75%, is that the momentum continues. Look for the price to break and hold above $36.30. If that happens, and especially if we get more positive confirmation on the AMD talks, a move towards the psychological $40 level becomes very likely. The bearish scenario, with a lower probability of 25%, would be triggered by negative news. If the AMD talks are refuted or fall apart, this stock could retrace its recent gains very quickly. A key warning sign for traders would be a close back below the support gap at $33.50 on high volume. This would indicate the breakout has failed and could lead to a retest of the $31 support level. Ultimately, Intel is now a news-driven stock. While the technicals are very bullish, traders must stay alert to headlines, as they will likely dictate the next major move. Keep an eye on volume. We want to see continued high volume on up days and lower volume on any pullbacks to confirm this bullish trend. Thank you for watching this analysis on Explain the Charts. Please remember, this video is for informational purposes only and is not financial advice. You should always conduct your own research and due diligence before making any investment decisions. Be sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth chart analysis.